Hey, how's it going? It's Carl, aka Carl Drum Tech, and I'm here right now where it all started for me in my marching percussion career. This is Torrance High School in Torrance, California. Fun fact about Torrance High School. Torrance High School was the site that they used for Beverly Hills 90210. This was the school that they used. This was also in the show Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the TV show, and also a couple of movies like She's All That, and I'm sorry, I know it's just like a bunch of 90s movies, so maybe you haven't heard of it, but or 90s shows, but this is the site that they used, and so a cool little history lesson on where I am today, but that is not what I wanted to talk about. Today, what I wanted to talk about is I've had some conversations with a couple individuals, and I just kind of wanted to bring it out for everybody to kind of learn from it and the conversations that came out of it. So one person I was talking to, you know, he's a very skilled drummer. He's been kind of like getting experienced by like, you know, like a bunch of drummers, street performers, and he's good. He's got skill, he's got talent, he's got good hands, and he's drumming, he's doing his thing, he puts out the videos, and then he just kind of is like, you know, we were having a conversation, and he was just saying, you know, I don't know what to do with this skill. I don't really know, you know, I've never marched like a big group. I don't know if I can march a big group, and what am I supposed to do with this skill? And just, it kind of felt like to me like, you know, he didn't really know where to go with the skills that he had. And I told him, just from a practical standpoint, there's 3 different things you can do, right? So one is you can go teach, kind of like me. So you take the skill that you learn, go teach it, go show others how to do it, and that's totally all good, right? Number 2, you could maybe join a group. You can, for example, for the marching percussion stuff, you know, there's senior corps or alumni corps that you can join, all age groups that you can do. So you can do that, or, you know, if you're underage, you can go and march, you know, like open class corps or, you know, world class corps, whatever, independent groups, go do that. Or number 3, you use it as a teacher. So what do I mean by that? Like, for me, for example, you know, I go to the gym, I work out, I'm into the fitness thing, and you know, I am not trying to be like super jack, Mr. Olympia, trying to compete and try to be the biggest, baddest, fittest person in the world. For me, it's just, I use it as like, you know, for health reasons, so I can be more healthy, so I can be a little bit stronger, so I can, you know, maybe look a little bit better. You know, I'm not trying to be like the biggest, baddest dude on the planet. You know what I'm saying? So that, but at the same time, I also, the biggest thing for me is that I use it as a lesson. So, you know, if I discipline myself to go to the gym when I'm supposed to go, then that means whatever goals I have, you know, whether that's in finance or, you know, my career, things like that, relationships, I can get good because I've learned discipline. I learned discipline when I go to the gym, like, you know, hey, you have to go. You can't quit. You can't like say, you know, you can't have an excuse like, you know, you can't go. Make myself go, and that to me is the greatest teacher in terms of, oh, okay, so whatever goals I have, you know, like with the fitness stuff or like, with career or like finance or anything like that, I can stay motivated, I can stay disciplined because I learned to go to the gym, basically, right? It's like, okay, whatever I have to do for these other goals, I'm gonna do it because there's no excuse, and I learned that from going to the gym. You know what I'm saying? So it's like same thing with drums. So you learn drumming, and again, it's a discipline, right? You discipline yourself to keep practicing, to get good at something, and that can be applied to so many different things, and that to me is huge. You don't have to march a big group to do that. You don't have to be like the biggest, baddest drummer around. You can just like be the best you can possibly be, and just, you can learn so much just from that, just from learning discipline, just from learning to be good at something, and that makes it all worth it. And I was talking to another individual, and he was talking about how, like, you know, he wants to march like these big groups or whatever. He wants to march a drum corps or whatever, and he's kind of afraid, right? And I'm just thinking, okay, so why are you afraid? And he's saying, you know, well, he's not really good at reading music and things like that. And I told him that's actually a very common problem. I've seen that so often, where, you know, students are just so like kind of musically illiterate, and that's something I want to keep working on to try to help as many people as possible with that aspect of their drumming careers. So but that's down the line. But really, you know, what I told him was, you know, don't have any fear. Don't be afraid. Because what that fear is, all that is just a fear of failure, right? You're afraid of going out there and having your deficiency be exposed. You're afraid of going out there and not making the group and failing. And what I told him was, do not be afraid of failure. Don't ever be afraid of failure. Here's one way to look at it. Like, yes, you have a deficiency. You have something that, you know, you need to work on. Don't be afraid of it. Don't be ashamed of it. Own it. Own that deficiency that you have. You can't read that good? Fine. Accept it and be cool with it. Like, yo, I can't read, but I'm gonna get better at it. This is something I'm working on, I'm improving upon it, and because I'm aware of it, and because I'm okay with it, it allows me to really see, okay, now I gotta improve it. Now I gotta take the steps necessary to get good at it. And guess what? Maybe he goes out there and he goes to auditions, and maybe that deficiency is exposed, and it holds him back. Maybe he feels pain from being held back and not being able to do something. Well, use that pain to now wake you up and say, now I really got to do something about this. Now I'm really motivated. And you know what? You would never feel that pain unless you actually go through it and experience it for yourself. Maybe you don't get that kick in the butt to say, yeah, go be motivated to work on that stuff. So that's the really important part about just doing it, right? Just go out there and just do it. Whatever happens, happens. If you don't make it, it's fine. If you fail, you learn from it. Because failure to me is one of the biggest teachers there is. And I think it's a great lie the society puts upon us that if we fail, people make fun of us. People, we people look down on failures, and people don't remember the failures or anything. People who fail, nobody remembers those guys or whatever, right? But it's such a huge lie. It just makes people not want to try. It makes people give up after they fail the first time. Failure, like I said, is the greatest lesson. Go out there, try different things, fail, learn until you figure out the best optimal way to go. And what I told this person is what I'm going to tell you right now. Don't ever be afraid of failure. Failure is the greatest teacher, and just don't let it hold you back from trying different things, doing activities, or just don't let it stop you, right? If you fail, don't give up. Okay, I guess that's my biggest lesson for you here today, and hopefully you got something out of it. It was some great conversations I had with great guys, and hopefully you got something out of it so that you can learn and go out there and do stuff, and don't be afraid, right? And whatever, try not to think too much about what your skill is gonna lead to. Just do it for the sake of doing it. If you enjoy doing it and you have fun doing it, keep doing it. There's really no set goal you should have. Try to be the best you can be, try to improve every single day, but don't be too focused on that end goal. And I have a lot of ideas on that, but that is another video for another day. And if you've been watching this much, I know this is kind of long, thank you so much if you've been watching, and I guess until next time, I'll see you guys once again. Hey, how's it going? So I'm gonna do a lesson right now on quad drumming. I don't have quads on me. I don't have a quad pad. So let me show you a quick basic concept on just using two pads together, and hopefully you'll find this useful. So here we go. All right, so I got my two pads here, and one of the things that I like to teach, and this is just a very basic quad concept, is if you want to go from drum to drum, basically the easiest way to do it is to just make sure that you go on the outside of the drums when you go drum to drum, rather than going from the middle to the middle, because basically you're going to cover a lot more ground doing that versus just doing from the edge to the edge. Okay, so you want to think of it that way. So whether it's a scrape, just go from here to here rather than, right? So this way is a lot more efficient than, right? So what about crossovers? So same thing, try not to go too far to the middle, but when you do crossovers, so let's say you do a right hand to left hand crossover. Keep the left hand that's below the right hand crossover lower, right? So otherwise you're gonna be hitting the stick, okay? And then same thing, if you would go left hand crossover, the right stick is under, you wanna keep that low. So let's say just do something like, so this is staying low, right? Or let's do the opposite. Okay, and then we're still kind of staying in the same kind of zone, so we're not traveling too far, okay, or just want to stay kind of close to the edge. Okay, and then keep the hand that's below lower. So that's it. That was really quick. Hopefully that was helpful, and I'll see you guys next time.